Drop your Legends Festival 2025 unit predictions or festival concepts down below. Will be used for an upcoming video. For any videos like this in the future, if you want to be involved, definitely follow me on Twitter/X, Zakashi with 3 eyes. And with that being said, we're going to be running through you guys' predictions for the festival 2025, as a lot of you have your hopes up. But right now, with the 40th Dragon Ball anniversary, things are looking up. So let's see what you guys got to offer. Alright, so we're going to start with this one from Glow9Glow6. Shout out my boy. Legends Fest predictions here. Part 1. Future vs Fusion Reborn, LF Synchro Gauge VB, LF Synchro Gauge Super Gogeta. Part 2, Daima vs Cell Saga, LF Super Saiyan 4 Goku Mini, LF FSK Gohan. And Part 3, Baby Saga, Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I do like the concept of how he's running the Arcs versus Arcs or Saga's Friends Saga, and that's not even bad, you know. That's actually a banger, but I feel like there's too much heat in here. Low key, high key, I don't know. Part 1 seems jam packed, Part 2 is loaded, and Part 3, dare I say, it's the weakest thing in this festival. Dare I say, Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Yeah, like really and truly low key he is, with the new Daima hype and everything like that. And how Daima did earlier this year, in-game and potentially for the franchise, GT is the weakest thing in this celebration, and that's crazy work, you know. But of course, this is reasonable, but I think it's kind of overstimulating, especially the Part 1 considering we got VB last year, and we also just got what it's looking like here. I'm not sure if it's 100% the case. At the time I'm recording this video, we have the potential Zenkai for the purple Vegeta or blue. Part 2 I really do like though. I think we are due another Daima unit 100%. I'm not too sure about the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, but I really do think we are due another Legends Limited Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. So this actually isn't a bad festival. This is a great festival in my opinion, but I think it's doing a lot. This would easily be a top 2 festival of all time in my opinion. If they drop this lineup, I'll be like, damn, that's crazy. Practically 6th anniversary-esque, but maybe better. Maybe better. Right, so we got one here from AKJ. Part 1, first ever double transformation. Picks Broly and Gogeta Super. I'm assuming only... oh, they're both double transforming. So Gogeta is gonna go Super Saiyan and then Blue, and then Broly is gonna go Super Saiyan and then into his like Berserk mode. Part 2, no new mechanics, usually the case. That's very fair actually. Picks tag Frieza and Cooler game originals or Goku and Hit and Goku and Hit. I think if they drop a game originals, they wouldn't drop another Legends Limited. They'll just make us hone in on the game originals. I think that's what they did last time, so I would expect that to be the case. But maybe they might increase the bar and also drop a separate Legends Limited. I just feel like it would be a lot more overwhelming for them if they did that. And then Part 3, active gauge that removes Vanish from the opponent. Interesting. That's very interesting. And his pick is the Super Saiyan 2 Bojack Gohan. That's actually not a bad celebration. That's actually not bad. I just feel like Part 2 is doing a bit too much. I feel like if you're gonna go tag Frieza and Cooler, we shouldn't have another Legends Limited. But if we're gonna get Goku and Hit, we should have another Legends Limited. That's not a game originals. But in my opinion, I would just prefer the game originals alone. I think that would do a lot more. And then we finish with the Super Saiyan 2 Bojack Gohan. I don't know how people feel about the Bojack Gohan. He's my personal favorite version of Gohan, but he's not everybody's. And I think he's one of the least popular versions of Gohan available. But the Part 1 is banging because everybody would expect a, you know, synchro if we're getting a Fusion Warrior. So when we see Gogeta and he's not starting off with Goku and Vegeta, everyone's going to be like, oh, it's just another Gogeta. And they might still feel like it's just another Gogeta because he goes Super Saiyan. But if he goes blue, that's when people's eyes will open. It'll be like, okay, yeah, we're here now. So that Part 1, you've opened my eyes here, AKJ. You're onto something. You are onto something. Got something here from Overhex. Since it didn't come true during the anniversary, how do you guys feel about a God Goku and Hit? It's actually quite crazy we don't have this in the game already, but there's a lot of things that we don't have in the game already that we should probably have in the game already. Even this year, we've had a couple of releases that we should have had in the game already. So, I guess this would be valid in one of the parts. In my personal opinion, I'm against this being a Part 1 unit. I think this should be a part 2 unit. I'm very for this being a part 2 unit because I just feel like there's better options for part 1. So it's not that they're not good enough for part 1, it's just that I would prefer other things for part 1, and I think a lot more people would agree with that than not. But of course, this is not a bad pick, it's just my thoughts on it. So you guys let me know what you guys think about Overhex is choice of having God Goku and Hit for the festival. I just think it'll be more part 2 than part 1 based on the part 1 potential overall. If this is part 1, it's not that it will be bad, but it will feel like they could have done better. And I don't want that feeling in this 2025 festival in the slightest. I'm trying to avoid that in every case possible. We got one from Moyes here. Sorry to dunk on you about the Dragon Ball OG thread, but that's not it, bro. Anyways, while I've made these, I don't think this will happen, especially Ultra Ego, but it would be really cool though. I want to put it out there that 100% Ultra Ego is not dropping. But I wanted to include this in the video because we recently got the manga characters Goku and Gohan from the volume covers. I really feel like they wouldn't include Ultra Ego because they don't want to confuse the general Dragon Ball fans. You know, imagine hopping into the game, you haven't read the manga, and you see Vegeta with purple hair and he has these abilities and you're like, what the hell? What is that even a thing? Like, the Dragon Ball Legends get hacked, people will be confused, and that's why Dragon Ball doesn't really push their manga characters into games before they're in the anime, because they don't want to confuse the general population, especially with how popular Dragon Ball is. At least that's what the notion I've gathered over the years for a lot of mangas, not just Dragon Ball. I think Bleach has done it before, somebody mentioned that to me, but I think that's a very rare exception. But besides from that, what do we have here? We got Vegito Blue. I mean, sure, but we got that last year, so I don't think that will drop. But Shallot is a good option. I think we do need a Shallot. Oh, this is Gogeta. I looked at his hair and saw the Super Saiyan God. I'm so used to seeing it. I didn't even peep it there. I didn't even peep it properly. I should have saw the tail and no scar. That's on me. That's on me. I don't think we'll get Super Saiyan God either, though. If we do get a Super Saiyan God Game Originals Fusion, I'll put a lot of money down. It's not going to be Gogeta first. It's not. I'll put a lot of money down, bruh. That is good. Vegeto's getting that first Game Originals Super Saiyan God transformation. I'll put a lot of money down for that, bro. Gogeta valid, though. But it ain't happening that way, twin. We know what Dragon Ball Legends is on. But yeah, mainly shared this post for the Ultra Ego conversation here. Got one here from Zenkai. Part 1. LF Super Saiyan God Goku and Vegeta, an active gauge that works separately and lets either Goku or Vegeta to go Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan or Blue. Example, Goku while in Super Saiyan God can use God Bind on the green card, and you can switch to into Vegeta, transform and combo into Oblivion. I'm assuming that Vegeta goes blue, so it's an active gauge for him, but Goku might still be in God, and then Goku can go blue after, so you have to active gauge separately. I'm assuming that's what this implies, because it works separately and lets either Goku or Vegeta go blue. So Goku while in Super Saiyan God can go green and God Bind, and you can switch into Vegeta and transform and combo into Oblivion based on Vegeta's kit. It wasn't really elaborated on, but that's how I'm perceiving it. That's a pretty cool idea. It would just be another tag unit. A lot of people will say that. But having the choice of having, oh, that's actually crazy. I think that's overwhelming now that I think about it. That means they're gonna have 4 kits. We've got a kit for Goku in God. We got a kit for Goku in Blue. And the same thing with Vegeta. 4 kits in 1 unit. That's a lot of reading, my boy. You know, and if they're just gonna transform separately, I guess there is the benefit of getting like HP. So you might be able to heal when you transform here and heal when you transform here. You get a stat boost or something. But, you know, having to read 4 kits, that's outrageous. So I think if Vegeta can combo into Oblivion in Super Saiyan Blue, he could probably already do it in God, because 4 kits is overwhelming. We're just gonna need the 2, you know. If they do 4 kits, I guess Legends is expanding their horizon, because that's nasty work. Having to read 4 kits for Dragon Ball fans, woo! Putting in work there. You're asking me to do a lot of work. We got one from Ab0 here. Let's say part 1 Fest is Super Gogeta Synchro Gauge versus Buhan, and we get a cool what if story event about if Goku and Vegeta use the Metamol Fusion versus Buu. Ultra Janemba get a plat, and fusing Super Vegeta from the 6th Annie get a unique. Would you be hyped or nah? That would be tough. That would be tough, but it leaves plot holes for the actual story. You know, I guess not really, but kind of. It's how they went about, you know, dealing with Buhan because of Buu absorbing all of their friends, you know. But if you just ignore that because it's a Dragon Ball what if, right? Basically, this is fire. This is fire. He comes in with the Soul Punisher, don't give a damn. Buhan going down. And he got the full 30 minutes. He got time. He got time. That's a lot of time. And then I'm not sure about, you know, Ultra Jidema getting a plat, because, you know, they'd have to complement that, and we already gave Ultra Super Vegeta a plat. So fusing Super Vegeta was your choice, but this is just a no diff. You know, because this guy's cracked. He's cracked. And then obviously it'd be like, what the hell? Because fusing GB definitely needs it more. So overall, it's not a bad idea. And if anything, I think it's a great idea. Obviously, part 1, Super Gogeta is carrying, and Buhan's gonna be like, he must be good for people to want to summon on him. He's gonna have to be potentially even better than Super Gogeta to actually get pulled. But I don't know. I feel like there's too much of an unbalance here. There's an imbalance. Having Super Gogeta against Buhan is just not something that screams, yeah, this is pulling, because they haven't even done Buhan since like what, the 1st anniversary, and he was a sparking. So I don't know about this, but it would be good on paper, but Buhan would definitely hold the celebration back, just a bit at least. And that's, you know, giving him the benefit of the doubt. We got one here from him. Please, Roger. Part 1, LF Synchro Super Gogeta, LF Broly multi-transformation, or something like that. What do you mean something like that? Is there any other options? Multi-transformation? I don't know. I think maybe they should give him like a revival into a transformation. That could be a banger if something like that. Anyways, part 2, LF Super Saiyan 4 Miniku and Goma, a whole diamond thing, but he also put LF FSK Gohan / Game Originals. Again, if they drop a Game Originals, I don't think they'll do 2 Legends Limiteds, because it'll be lopsided. And then part 3, Ultra 4Q, I'm assuming Super Saiyan 4 Goku from GT, obviously. Part 2, Full Daima. Am I behind that? Chat, how you feeling about that? I think it's a good option, actually. I had the thought immediately. Remember the 5th anniversary in part 2? They made it a whole superhero theme with the Gammas and Orange Piccolo. I don't feel like it's unreasonable to have part 2 be all of Daima. But if they did do that, I don't think it will be Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I think it would probably be Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta Mini. If not that, they might just skip out completely and drop like a Dooku, you know, double antagonist, because I feel like they want to kind of go out the way. Maybe Super Saiyan 4 Miniku is like 2 mainline, and because we got Super Saiyan Goku last year, it'd just be like a copy paste. But they're not really afraid to do that, man. I'm not gonna lie. So this isn't even bad. Like part 2 isn't bad. I'm really just trying to break it down and use my own rationale. So I think it's fine. Part 1 is obviously fine. Z Super Gogeta versus DBS Broly. It's just swapping out the Gogeta variants. And in part 3, there's a commonly accepted thing that Super Saiyan 4 Goku would go crazy. So this is good, man. This is solid. Aiden Films. You could replace Gohan with Jiren, but I don't care for Jiren much so. So his part 1 is fusing Super Gogeta, Fusion Reborn, and we've got Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the mini variant from Daima. Then part 2, it's going to be Super Saiyan 2 Gohan from the Cell Saga versus Broly. So we've got Broly as a Legends Limited. And then the Ultra, again, the commonly accepted Super Saiyan 4 Goku from GT. How do I feel about this? I think part 1 is very valid. Part 2 is also good, but it's maybe too much. It's a high expectation for Dragon Ball Legends to give us Super Saiyan 2 Gohan and Broly. And I feel like Gohan is kind of just out of nowhere, you know? I think the placements are mismatched. So Broly would be more likely to fit with Gogeta, but it's not that he can't fit with part 2. And I also think he could be more of a part 2 unit, because I don't see him, I'm not saying he's not hype, he is definitely hype, but I don't feel like he has much pull in Dragon Ball Legends as much as people would believe. So part 2 is a good fit for Broly, I'm not gonna lie. A new Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, I'm thinking a lot of people are actually behind that. I've been seeing it a lot. I do also think we do need a new one. The last one we got, and the only one we got besides from the Ultra, is literally the first ever Legends Limited Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. We got that years ago, and he's got everything under the sun, like Zenkai's plat, everything. So this isn't bad, honestly. I think it's a very good celebration overall. If we got this, I would not complain in the slightest. Dokkan Battle did Super Saiyan 2 Gohan for part 2 as well, so you know, it's feasible. This is not an unreasonable celebration in the slightest. I just feel like it's a bit lopsided as well in the part 2, with Gohan being like super hype, and in part 1 it's like balanced, it's super balanced. Got one here from Danny Teddy Bear. Part 1, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku and Hit. I'm assuming the Legends Limited each, obviously. Part 2, Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Vegeta and Golden Frieza. We don't have a Legends Limited Golden Frieza. Bro, what the hell are Legends doing? And again, part 3, the commonly accepted Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So let's talk about part 1 and part 2, right? Not gonna lie, I'm not gonna lie to you, twin. Danny Teddy Bear. this celebration is buns. This celebration is ass. I am not gonna lie. Boy, first off, part 1 and part 2 are both part 2. Like, they could both be part 2 on different concepts. I feel like part 1 doesn't have enough pull on its own. The Universe 6 versus Universe 7 tournament is banging, right? It was good, but it was very short, and it's really just like a preliminary for the Tournament of Power buzz, so it's easily forgettable. But even if we do remember it, right, I wouldn't want 2 Universe 6, Universe 7 units as the whole part 1. Pick one. So if you gave me the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku, I'd be like, alright, cool, that makes sense. But then something else has to be on the other side that's not from the same arc, in my opinion. Hit on its own, I wouldn't even say he's a celebration, let me not say he's not celebration worthy, but the only celebration worthy hit I would ask for if he's not part 2 would be with God Goku, like we saw earlier. So that part 1, boy, people be thinking, alright, this is a regular campaign. Now let's look at the part 2. I'm actually more in favor of the part 2 as is. It's actually fine, it's completely fine. Your part 3 is completely fine, so I'm not even gonna address it. But the part 2, Golden Frieza, loved character, and we don't have a Legend Limited yet, so I'd very much back that. You know, I'm not gonna summon, probably not anyways, but I'd very much back it. I'm for the idea of it because we don't have one yet, and he's a loved character. And then the tag Super Saiyan Goku and Vegeta, we did get Metal Cooler earlier this year, so I'm also not against, you know, getting that as well. So you could put that in. You even put the gif here. Vegeta getting fried, that crazy gif. But yeah, besides from that, both of the part 1 and part 2 being both part 2 templates, you know, the part 3 is banging. Part 2, any of these could be fine, but you're gonna have to change that part 1. I don't think that's reasonable. I'd be heavily upset if that was the part 1, and then going into the part 2, I'd be like, bro, we got 2 part 2s. Alright, this is the last one here. We got Kojiro the Ripper. Let's start it off with a bang. So it's just going to be part 1. So we've got Super Saiyan 4 Goku Mini, defense gauge that when filled turns into a strike gauge and forces heavy card draw when comboing. Strike cover change, heavy damage, short combos. Okay, that means he's going to fall off, but you know, that's cool. Legendary finish, of course, purple, solid, and he's going for Pansy as the sparking, blue, heavy force draw and long combos, healing, blast cover change, paralyzes on ult, diamond health buffer. Pansy might be more viable than Goku with the way you build him. Like, he's defense gauge, sure, but this just sounds like Broly, you know, Ultra Broly, and people aren't really a fan of Ultra Broly, especially the way he works. Let's continue though. So we got here the fusing tag 4s. So before transforming, Goku is red and Vegeta is green. Endurance, disrupt, healing, easy build up with gauge, blast and strike cover change respectively. So blast, strike, I'm assuming. And then invincibility when the whole team is Super Saiyan 4 or GT. Oh, does that count for the Diver Goku? I like what you did there. Nullify enemies' unique gauges. What the like, as in he turns them off or he isn't affected by it? Because imagine, like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a unique gauge that's like crazy. Somebody who gets Dragon Balls on their unique gauge, like this one, the Goku youth. I know he's trash, but just using him as an example. Is he not gonna be able to get the benefits of his gauge because this is null? Like, that's like taking out a whole half of their kit. So if it works like that, that's nasty. But then if it's like other things, I don't know, bro. I'm thinking of people that feel their gauge get cards and things like that. Like Rose, he's not gonna get his ult. That's crazy. More disrupt, card draw, universal cover change. Does the endurance carry over? I bet it doesn't. In my opinion, what's the thing? Indestructible pre and post would be valid. So like, you have indestructible here and it can carry over. I was gonna say give it both so it refreshes, but that's OD. And then sparking Marju. I actually like this part 1. We're going Super Saiyan 4 theme, and because of what Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta has in his kit here with being a Super Saiyan 4 team, it encourages the idea of summoning for the whole part 1 and not just one way. So if this Goku's crazy, right, and these guys are obviously looking insane, that means you could run them together while having literally what, 3 elements. So you got red, green, and you're gonna have the blue here, I mean the purple here, sorry. That's valid, and then it goes to red when he transforms. That would go crazy, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Start with a bang. You know bull. All right, this is fire. This is actually fire. But yeah, man, that's going to be the end of the video. I chose 10 because these 10 had pictures. So in future, if you ever put a reply down, try to include some pictures because it appears higher up if there's just images under the tweet that you reply to my tweet with. But let me know which one's your favorite. Me personally, I like the final one the most, even though it's only part 1. I messed with Super Saiyan 4 part 1, part 2 concept very heavily. Kojiro, you know, bull, bro. I like that one a lot. But you guys are free to your own opinion, and let me know in the comment section if you have your own ideas. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. We're on this grind to 200,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name's Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.